Hello, my name is Dr. Michael Curran from the Technological University Dublin, and I am a co-author on this paper with Mr. Dara Call, Dr. John Spillane, and Dr. Jim Bradley from the University of Limerick. The paper is titled Change Control Systems, Investigating the Systems Used on Infrastructure Projects by a Local Authority in Ireland. The complex and dynamic nature of the construction industry poses many uncertainties and risks. One of the main common concerns in construction is project change, and change control plays an important role for the overall success of a construction project. The Chartered Institute of Building defined change control as a process that ensures potential changes to the deliverables of a project, or the sequence of work in a project are recorded, evaluated, authorised and managed. If changes are not resolved through a well-structured change control system, it may result in project failure. In Ireland, a county council, otherwise known as a local authority, is a multi-purpose body responsible for delivering a broad range of services in relation to roads, traffic, planning, housing, economic and community development, amongst others. Transport Infrastructure Ireland are the government organisation who fund road projects, but the County Council is responsible for awarding the project to contractors who previously bid and submit a tender for the contracts. Council members act as the employer's representatives on site to ensure that the project is running smoothly. However, both the council and the contractor will have their own change control system in place for dealing with change on construction projects, which can often lead to confusion and difficulties. Research on change control systems in Irish county councils is scant, but other studies on change systems have been undertaken elsewhere. Thus, this study attempts to investigate change control systems in one of the county councils in Ireland, examine how the system works, and make improvements regarding their change management strategy. In doing so, it also aims to identify and document any differences, if any, between change systems in public and private sector organisations in Ireland. To investigate the change control system that is in place for a local authority in infrastructure projects, a qualitative approach is chosen, founded on 4 semi-structured interviews following an informative literature review. 2 of the participants worked for a county council, public sector, located in the west of Ireland. The other 2 participants worked in the private sector for a large contracting company who specialise in road and bridge construction, amongst other infrastructure projects. Following the interviews, the transcripts were analysed using coding techniques, which led to the discussion of findings and conclusion and recommendations. Further information is found in the main paper. The interviews commenced by gaining general background information from each participant, followed by a series of questions about change control systems. Each participant had different ideas and experiences with change control systems, and it was evident that a gap exists between the methods used by public and private sectors. Findings were combined and qualitatively assessed and summarised using coding techniques. Flowcharts were illustrated to demonstrate how the change control system in both the public and private sectors operate. Figure 1 on the left illustrates the change control system for the County Council. The 2 participants used the design change of a bridge to a box culvert in their current project as an example of how the change control system works on site. This illustration highlights the different stages involved from when change is recognised to when the change occurs on site. Figure 2 on the right illustrates the change control system for the main contractor. One of the participants used a design change example regarding piles under a bridge on their current road project. This figure illustrates the different stages involved from when change is recognised to when the change occurs on site. Further explanations for each figure are provided in the main paper. The most prominent theme that emerged from the interviews was the time it takes for a change to occur on site. For example, regarding design, it could take up to 20 working days sometimes for a new design to be issued and for the change to occur on site. The literature highlights that time is money, and timing is an integral part of every construction plan and can affect each party's contractual obligations. Another important theme identified was the communication used for the change control system to work. One of the participants noted how any changes in-house can be communicated across the project team quickly and via various platforms such as meetings, phone calls, emails, and teleconferencing, resulting in a change being made relatively quickly. The literature supports that developing a communication management plan is the most effective method for ensuring adequate communication on construction projects. Root causes was also a significant theme identified across all interviews conducted, with each interviewee agreeing that a lot of the changes that occurred during the project could have been prevented. The literature states that change orders occur due to root causes such as design errors, unexpected site conditions, and weather conditions. The impact the changes and the change control system had on the project was another key theme identified during the interviews. Change not only adds to, subtracts from, or changes the type of work being used in a certain section, but also affects other areas of work that have not been accounted for. The interviewees all agreed that the changes on the project had an effect on other areas of the project. The final theme identified was the decision-making process for the change control system. When it comes to decision-making in construction, the solutions which are finally accepted will affect the course of the building works, while consequences of the decisions are more than likely to be felt for many years to come. Overall, the key contribution of this research illustrates that current change control systems are effective. However, improvements can still be made. Considering the issues identified, a new and improved change control system is formulated that is projected to benefit both the public and private sector, particularly the local authority. Nevertheless, this research formalises and develops an improved strategic approach to change control systems on infrastructure projects, which can be utilised by various local authorities in Ireland. Figure 3 illustrates the new change control system, which will benefit both the public and private sector. Thank you for listening.